Okay, we saw in the previous video what functions are and what composite functions mean. And we were substituting numbers into those functions. This video is showing you how we can do algebra with these things. So, in this question, I've got f and g defined for me there. And I want to work out what fg of x is in terms of x. So notice that I don't actually know what the number x is now. So I can't just substitute the number into these rules because I don't know what the number is. Fg of x, let's just remember what that means. That's the same thing as me saying f brackets g of x. So it's saying f of g of x. This is the shorter way of writing this. It means just to get my g of x function and substitute it in to the f of x function. Get my answer from g of x and substitute it into f of x. Well, my answer from g of x is just x squared. Whatever the value of x is, I would square it and get x squared. So I'm going to substitute this in to the f function. I'm going to do f of x squared. The g of x is just x squared. So I'm going to take the x squared and substitute that in here. 2 times x squared plus 1. That's where that comes from. Whereas, if it was the other way round, if I would have g f of x, that means the same thing as g of f of x. So to substitute the f of x function, which we know is equal to the 2x plus 1, and to substitute the 2x plus 1 in to the g of x function. The g of x function is this, so if I substitute 2x plus 1 into this, I get 2x plus 1 all squared. Now, if I were asked to then solve an equation like this, I know g f of x is this. I know fg of x is this, so I can replace those like so. And then this is now basically a quadratic equation to be solved. I've removed the functions by doing this process up here. I can expand the brackets here. Remember 2x plus 1 all squared means 2x plus 1 times 2x plus 1. So 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. 1 times 2x is 2x. And 1 times 1 is 1. So I get the 4x squared plus the 2x plus the 2x plus the 1. The right hand side is just the same. Then, because it's a quadratic equation, I want to make that equal to 0. So I'm going to take away the 2x squared from both sides, and I'm going to take away the 1 from both sides. Then I have 4x squared take away 2x squared is 2x squared. The 1 take away the 1 is 0. And over here, this is just equal to 0. I've divided through by 2 just to make this a little bit easier for myself. Then I can factorise that x outside of the brackets there. And now I can see that either x must be 0 or x must be minus 2. So those are my two solutions to this equation. I'm going to do another example now, and then you're going to have a go at one of these. So f of x is 2x minus 3, g of x is x squared plus 2, and I'm solving the equation fg of x equals g f of x. So I'm going to start by writing down what this actually means in their longer form. This means f of g of x, like that. This means g of f of x. G of x, well, that is just my x squared plus 2. The answer for g of x comes from here. So I've replaced the g of x with the x squared plus 2. And I've replaced the f of x with the 2x minus 3. So I am going to substitute the x plus 2 into the f function. So I'm going to put this in here. So I've got 2 lots of the x squared plus 2 minus 3. Whereas over here, I've got the 2x minus 3 that gets substituted into the g function, which is here. So the 2x plus 3 gets squared, and then I add 2. Now I just want to solve this equation, so I'm going to expand out the brackets here and here. I'm going to collect up the like terms and make this equal to 0. I'm then going to try and solve this equation. I can simplify this by dividing through by 2 and then factorising. And then I can get my two answers of 1 and 5. So those are the two solutions to this equation. Here is a question now for you to have a go at. So press pause and have a go at this question on paper in front of you, and when you've finished this question or when you get stuck, you can press play and see if you've got it right or not. Okay, for the answer then, I'm first of all going to write down what this means. That means the same thing as that. That means the same thing as that. Which means that the g of x, I'm just taking the g of x here and I'm going to substitute that into the f of x. Over here I'm taking the f of x, which is this, and I'm going to substitute that into the g of x. So if I'm putting the x minus 4 into the f of x function, I'm putting this in here, that will give me the x minus 4 all squared plus 5. Over here, if I'm substituting the x squared plus 5 into the g function, I'm taking the x squared plus 5 and putting it here, like that. Then expand the brackets, collect up like terms, make it equal to 0. In fact, when you take away the x squared off both sides here, it's no longer a quadratic equation, which makes it nice and easy for us, because then we can take the 8x to the other side and divide by 8 to get our solution. That should now hopefully be enough for you to have a go at some questions from section B.